You have to absolutely be kidding me. After a nearly 10 year uninterrupted run of vilifying men, of having weak, lily-livered, soy-infused men in their movies, by disparaging men in their cartoons, in their advertising, by calling men toxic, Disney is now begging men to come back. Well, I'm sorry. You had two of maybe the best franchises ever, and you tanked them both. Star Wars and Marvel are in complete shambles. The Critical Drinker agrees. By the way, I want to announce next week, well, depending on when you watch this video, but starting next week, Monday through Thursday, special preview Monday through Thursday on my main channel of our daily live stream featuring Melanie Mack, Hannah Claire, and Luke Rodowski, Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the main channel. And I'm hoping that you guys will like the show and that you'll eventually subscribe. It actually live streams from Quartering Live, a different live stream channel, but we're going to live stream it to the main channel so you guys can get a taste of it. If you want, in the meantime, obviously you could just go to Quartering Live and subscribe. We're going to be doing some giveaways. We're going to be doing all sorts of stuff to promote the live stream. So you can go to Quartering Live, one word, if you're a YouTube only viewer, and watch there. Or you can watch on the main channel and see if you like it. Now, just go subscribe now. I think you're really going to like it. Plus, we've got giveaways and stuff like that planned next week. I think I'll do some video games and some game consoles or something. I'll whip something up this weekend. So, Variety writes, Disney's boy trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel and Lucasfilm struggles. Now, the Critical Drinker, I think, perfectly encapsulates this, and I want to give him a huge shout out for this tweet and bringing this topic to my attention. Ironically enough, they had two of the biggest and most successful boy brands with Star Wars and the MCU and completely tanked them both in search of a female audience that never existed. Now, I want to get to some of the replies in this article, obviously, but like, isn't that the case? Guys, we got to have Captain Marvel. We need a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. We need female-led movies. We need space lesbians who scissors and make the Force. We need shows like Ahsoka. We need shows like, what's that other stupid one that tanked? All of them, basically. We need to have women, we need to have Daisy Ridley, no disrespect, but we need to have Reylo. We need to have Star Wars be led by a woman. Little did they know. By the way, channels like Nerdrotic, channels like Critical Drinker, channels like myself, for a very long time have been telling Disney and Marvel, the women who want to see Marvel movies were already seeing them. They weren't not seeing Marvel movies because there weren't enough women in them. Many, many times I would go to see a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie. The theater, sure, was 70% men, but there were still plenty of women there. Still plenty of women there. The women that liked Marvel movies, not because there were women in them. Like, literally not because this is one of the biggest fallacies on earth. And it comes from like Twitter logic. Back when it was Twitter, not X, they would have these bot farms full of trans individuals trying to tell Disney, well, we need She-Hulk. We need to spend $1 million an episode or $10 million an episode on She-Hulk. If only we had She-Hulk, women would tune in to superhero movies. Well, that didn't work. Sure, Captain Marvel made $1 billion, and they'll never take that away from that movie. But that was because it was required reading. It was billed as required reading for the most important movie in a 10-year span. The biggest film in at the time in modern day history. I don't know if it's still number one. I think it's close to the largest grossing movie ever. $3 billion it made or something like that. So of course everyone saw Captain Marvel. Who was watching America Chavez on Disney Plus? Who was watching Black female Iron Man? Nobody. Who's watching Muslim stretchy big hands lady? Nobody. Nobody wants those cartoons or movies, and they don't want them because they're not good. It is so degrading to women, I believe, that Disney thinks, well, chicks will just watch this stuff because there's a woman in it. It's literally as South Park put it, put a chick in it and make it lame and gay, or her gay or whatever. Like, they think that women are like ants to a spilled soda on the concrete. Like, ooh, there's a woman in this movie? I didn't like the last 25 Marvel movies, but now that there's a chick in it, that changes everything. That literally, obviously, never worked. And now they completely turned off the men, too. So you vilified the men. You trotted out anti-American losers like Chris Evans. You trotted out anti-American, anti-white losers like Black Captain America. And you want men to come back? Sorry, player, we're gone. A lot of them are watching anime now because that's one safe, generally. Look at, what is it, the number one movie on Netflix or TV show series on Netflix? Like K-pop Demon Hunters or something like that. Something I would never even consider watching. But it's like, well, at least the men aren't cuckolded. At least they don't talk about, toxic masculinity in it. At least they aren't constantly belittling men. What did they think was going to happen? Kang Min Lee, all they had to do was keep the same formula, but they couldn't resist the race swaps, girl bossing, and left-wing politicking. Yes, the answer to their question is Star Wars and Marvel without the terrible stuff. Can I take a victory lap from this prediction 6 years ago? It's mind-boggling that Disney would waste $4 billion on this property, then rush every script as if they desperately needed the money to make next month's rent. Disney's handling of Star Wars will go down in history as one of the worst business moves of all times. I agree with that. Execs like, how can we get boys interested in all the girl boss adventures where men are trash loser clowns and women know all the skills from birth? There was a female audience, but it liked the same thing as the boys. They kept chasing a woke audience that didn't exist. Well, that is because they listened to Twitter. That's why they fired Gina Carano. That's why they kept thinking, well, let's put Megan Thee Stallion in She-Hulk, because it turned, the whole reason, I'm not kidding you, I would bet money on this. Remember the show Agatha? You probably don't because nobody watched it. She was a side character in, what was the other one? WandaVision? WandaVision was a great premise too, but they couldn't figure out if she was supposed to be the hero or the villain, and the writing sucked. Agatha. By the way, don't forget to tune in 1 Eastern every day on Quartering Live. If you're a YouTube only viewer, go subscribe right now for next week. We're going to have all sorts of giveaways and fun stuff. Or you could tune in on the main channel, and then, you've got to be subscribed to Quartering Live to win though. So, or on my Rumble channel. Both will be available to, winners. But like, it's so crazy to me that Disney had it all. Star Wars, Marvel at their peak. And yes, there was superhero fatigue. There was. But sorry to go back to Agatha. So there was one like meme of like an Agatha face that went viral. So what did Disney do? Gave her an entire show and spent $100 million on it. $100 million. They spent $100 million on the show. Again, did I mention we have all sorts of giveaways all next week, Monday through Thursday, 2 Eastern, wherever you watch my live stream currently. But you got to be following. So if you're one of the 30,000 watching right now on Rumble, make sure you click that follow button. If you're watching this on my main channel as a standalone video, make sure you follow the channel or you subscribe to Quartering Live on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description. They lost $100 million on Agatha. They lost $100 million on She-Hulk. All of these girl boss shows, nobody watched. Nobody watched. And now look at this. Leadership at Walt Disney has desperately been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months. Multiple sources tell Variety for movies that will bring back young men to the brand in a meaningful way. Young men is defined 13 to 28, aka Gen Z. First, every film studio is looking for a better way to convert young audiences into habitual moviegoers. Numerous studios show that Gen Z men in particular are lonely, gaming-obsessed group who were hampered by their formative years during the COOF. So they're saying reports are calling Gen Z men losers. Give them movies. How, that's like, so they're going about it all wrong already. Video game obsessed. Let me tell you something, brother. Okay. Men have loved video games for a long time. Maybe understand what they like about those video games and bring it to the movie theater. Maybe look at the games they play. Look at all the woke trash video games where men are soy-infused dorks and the women have, negative A cup chests and have androgynous body builds, and see how well those games are selling. And then look at how well your movies doing the same are selling. And then figure out how to, maybe video games can teach you something, Hollywood. Men like women that look like women and men that are men. By the way, this has been the same since the 1920s. We've known this in advertising. Men are not going to pay $15 to go to a movie theater and see some like soy-infused dork who's the butt of every joke. All they have to do is go anywhere in life and they get that already. Gen Z, by the way, there's a recent study. I had a separate video about this. Gen Z, look at this. 18 to 24-year-old church attendance has skyrocketed 16% under President Trump. Trump's mission to bring America and the world back to God is working.
I think now that things have settled in, we have President Trump back in office, the economy is recovering, things like that, we'll get back on the right track. And this is a whole other God thing as well. Our generation is a generation without God. But the more we come back to that, the Bible says in 2 Chronicles 7:14 that if my people humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways, that I will hear them from the heavens and I will heal their land. So I believe that's going to come, and I believe there's a lot of good things in the future for Gen Z, especially under a Trump presidency.
Maybe look at that. A 16% increase in young men going to church. Let's balance that with the demonic race, gender, sodomite slop that Hollywood's been putting out. Maybe get back to making good movies and people will come back. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy. It's pretty easy. And again, we'll see if they listen. I don't know. It seems like a disaster waiting to happen. Don't forget to tune in next week. Right now, we got 31,000 watching on Rumble. We've got 22 on Twitch. We've got 250 on the YouTube channel. So if you're a YouTube-only viewer, make sure you subscribe to Quoting Live. We've got a week full of giveaways next week. We've got all sorts of fun stuff with me, Melanie Mack, Hannah Clark, Luke Radowski, and some special guests. It's going to be really exciting. I hope you give the live stream a channel or a try. If you're watching on Rumble, just make sure you click the follow channel. The only requirement is that you be subscribed or following one of the channels, and you'll be able to qualify. I look forward to having an exciting week next week, and I look forward to movies getting back to what they were. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you again real soon.